Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cinderella phenomenon. Also welcome back to Bacon. So my bad luck continues to persist. Last Saturday I was going to be putting up the part 2 of my Final Fantasy VIII rant series talking about the different characters and issues with the plot, things like that. And somehow the entire folder got deleted. I don't know how. I do know that I had been organizing some of the pictures I no longer needed or wanted. And I don't know, somehow in that process, the entire folder full of pictures that I spent a long while, like a couple hours on trying to accumulate for the entire video, were gone. As well as like tested audios. The only thing that I have at this point is just the original document with all my notes and stuff, as well as some script lines that was luckily not in the folder, but instead on my desktop so that I could work on it directly. So I was extremely upset about that, and today, I somehow accidentally hit my power button when I was in the middle of recording. Yay! Which means that I still had my audio, but the video was corrupted. So I lost the entire recording. So just to give you guys a summary of what I did go back and I chose the correct option here because it was pointed out to me that I chose the wrong option. A diamond did not show up. It was supposed to be protest, not stay silent. Which I'm glad that they brought that up because, unfortunately, given my streak so far of choosing the wrong options and not noticing either at all or when it's like way further into the story and I'm like, crap, I don't want to make too many wrong decisions because if you only make 2 wrong decisions, that's all it takes to have a bad ending. And I definitely do not want to have a bad ending, especially in a route that has already traumatized me. The next thing is that I had discussed, and I'm going to discuss again, this comment. I don't care that many people died in this ending. We have a Fritz baby, and that's that. First of all, your feelings for Fritz are 100% validated because Fritz is an innocent little baby, and I 100% understand your love for him. But also, many people die! So on top of that, I was already upset going into this, thinking, who else is gonna friggin' die? And I'm having to like categorize, okay, who am I okay with seeing die? Who am I not okay with seeing die? Desperately trying not to look at spoilers just so I could be okay. And then everything gets deleted. And I'm not in a good place going into this. Many people die. What? My only silver lining is apparently this is the only route that does me dirty like this. Okay, now that I've had that mild freak out and you guys know that yes, I have, I did go back and I corrected that. I made sure to update each of these save points as each of these save spots as the choices came up just in case. Thank goodness I did that. And we are, all 3 of these actually. And we're getting right back into it. Princess, I'm sure that's not true. I glare at Waltz as tears well in my eyes. It was my fault. Waltz falls silent as he studies my face, then he sighs before taking my hand. We'll sort this out at the margin. Come on. As soon as the margin doors close behind us, Jurian collapses. Also, I was into chapter 9 when it all decided to die. Just so you guys know. I was already in chapter 9. Very upset. Moving on. As soon as the marching doors close behind us, Jurian collapses. Jurian! Luckily, I'm close enough to catch one of her arms and Waltz is fast enough to catch the other. Move her to the chair. Together, we manage to guide Jurian to the chair. We set her down on it as gently as we can. I watch as she unfolds on the chair, and that is when I see the dark red slashes and tears in her clothing. Some of her wounds are open and visibly bleeding. She's still bleeding. Waltz pulls a cloth from his back pocket and hands it to me. Clean what you can. I'll get Lady Parfait and Rumple. He runs off, leaving me alone with Jurian. It looks like she's bleeding everywhere. I steel myself and kneel by her side. Gently, I reach out and begin to wipe at the worst of what I can see. Jurian moans and I flinch in sympathy. I am sorry. I feel a lump rise in my throat. I convinced Scarlett to go back. If I hadn't, he wouldn't have... Jurian shifts slightly to put her hand on my cheek. Her touch is cool and gentle. Jurian? There's a softness in her gaze and an inexplicable kindness in the touch of her hand. After a moment, Jurian slowly nods and her eyes fall closed on a sigh. Wait, is she okay? Jurian? Jurian! Waltz. She just closed her eyes. She's not speaking. She's not going to die too, is she? Not if I have anything to say about it. Excuse me, princess. Rumpel gently pushes me aside and I let him, hovering over his shoulder as he crouches to inspect Durian. Well, princess, you're kind of getting in the way, honey. Walt steps beside me and gently places his hand on my arm. What? Rumpel needs to work his magic now. And? So, why don't we get you something to drink, I am not going to leave her. Princess, please. We should let Rumpel work. I look back over my shoulder, watching how carefully Rumpel attends to Durian. Okay. Walt's hand acts as my lifeline as he helps me into the tavern area. My legs become weaker with every step. Hi, stranger. Delora. I realize that I am running to her after I barrel into her. I bury my face in her shoulder as I suppress a sob. Delora's arms come around me, holding me tight as whatever calm facade I was holding up comes apart at the seams. Waltz, would you please get us those mugs? Of course. Delora leads me to one of the benches, one of her arms still around me so she can rub my back. Somehow the simple gesture is helping me calm down. Lucette, are you hurt? I shake my head. Thank goodness for that. I stay in her embrace until Waltz returns to place something on the table. How are we doing? I pull away reluctantly to rub at my eyes. I'm okay. Delora takes a mug and places it in my hand. Good, now drink. I do not question and raise the mug to my mouth. Hot chocolate. Delora made this for me before. I take a few deep swallows of the hot, sweet liquid. Better? Yes. Lucette, can you tell me what happened? Mother found us in the tunnels. That was the right decision. I mentioned this last time, but did you see how long it took for that crystal to show up? And again, that was the second time I hadn't even thought about it. I mean, this time at least it's because I already knew which one was the right choice, but still. Sometimes they just take forever, and that can be real confusing. Mother found us in the tunnels. Durian told Garland to get me out. My throat threatens to close, but I force the words out. Mother is so strong, and I thought Durian might not survive. So I convinced Garland to go back, and that's when I stared down at my mug, my hands trembling. It's my fault. It's all my fault. If I hadn't convinced Garland to go back, Mother wouldn't have killed him. The silence in the tavern is deafening. Finish your hot chocolate, Lucette. I obey without a word. Everyone's going to be so angry with me. It's my fault Garland is dead, and it's my fault Durian is injured. Have you heard about your stepfamily? I know they're gone. Are they dead as well because of me? Hey, don't look like that. I'll have you know that I had to use a sleeping spell on Prince Rod and Princess Emmeline earlier. They heard about what Durian and Garland were going to do tonight. I don't think I would have been able to stop them from coming along on the rescue mission otherwise. What? You got them out, Princess. Varg would have killed them if you hadn't stepped in. The Queen was already waiting at the end of the tunnel on the day the Prince and Princess escaped. Alcaster must have somehow gotten wind of the escape plan, which was why he had Varg try to eliminate them then and there. Security tightened more after that day. Oh, thank goodness. And we've been worrying about you ever since you left. Well, ever since you stormed out all those months ago. Dolores' smile was sad as she reaches up to push my hair out of my face. None of this was your fault, Lucette. If anything, it was mine and Parfait's for letting this happen. We tried to help you escape, but we couldn't break the shield around the palace in fear of putting everyone inside in danger. That is why we had to wait. We never thought we'd have to worry about Hildur being revived. And though we would have liked to save you outside of the palace... That's right, I was out of the palace more than a couple of times, once with Varg and another with Mother. We couldn't put the lives of others in danger when Hildur was right there. She would have killed the citizens. Even if I'd wanted to escape the day I was with Varg, he wouldn't have let me. I grip my now empty mug. Princess, I understand how you feel, and I know it's difficult, but frankly, we have bigger fish to fry. I think you realize now what kind of person Hildur is. I do. Then you know what we have to do. I know too well what it is, what we must do. In fact, I knew this was bound to happen sooner or later. I started this. I do not know if I can fix everything, and I do not know if I can save Angiel. But no matter how long it might take, I must make things right. I finally look up at Delora and nod. We have to stop Mother. Okay. Yep. That's proof. Darn it. Gonna save again just because I can. Because of the severity of Jurian's wounds, Rumpel decided he would bring her to the nearest clinic so she could be better cared for. Anise decided to go with him, and surprisingly, Ophelia and her children all opted to go as well. Now the only ones left here at the tavern are me, Delora, Waltz, and Karma. They may not say it, but I'm sure they are blaming me for what is happening to Angiel right now. I need to make things right. I close my eyes as a sudden bout of dizziness comes over me. Mother has always been the person that mattered most to me. I never questioned or disobeyed her because she was so important. She was my light in days that were often so dark. But I have no choice. If Mother isn't stopped, who knows how many more lives will be lost. The only way to stop Mother is to kill her, isn't it? I'm sorry, but this is really the only way. Yes, I know. But I do not think I could kill her myself. Delora has a knowing look in her eyes as she turns to address Waltz. We'll leave as soon as Parfait comes back from her meeting with the fairies. If you can fully use your magic, then we may actually stand a chance. Magic? What are you talking about? And this is where I discovered that she doesn't know about Waltz being a witch yet until just now. Waltz is just a street magician. What help could he be? Don't underestimate our magician. Waltz is a witch and a lot stronger than he looks. Waltz is a witch. You know I have the Neverland curse. Yes? I do not know that fairy tale, but what does that have to do with anything? Your mother was the witch that cursed me. What? But Waltz, if you are also a witch, how can you be cursed? Your mother is the Tenebrarum bearer, which means that she has the power to punish all witches if she chooses. As to why he was cursed, Waltz's expression darkens. Hilda needed to be stopped. I knew I couldn't defeat her alone, so I enlisted the help of the fairies. I betrayed her, and she punished me before she died. Waltz almost single-handedly brought about the end of the Great War. He's the reason we've been enjoying this peace for as long as we have, and he's adorable to boot. I never knew. Of course, you can only imagine how displeased Hilda was with Waltz. Hilda stole my shadow and sealed it away in Neverland. Your shadow? We really need to work on your fairy tale knowledge one of these days, Princess. Peter Pan is a boy that lives in Neverland, which is a place where children never grow up. Waltz's curse means he has been frozen in a child's body since Hilda cursed him all those years ago. He can't grow up and he can't use any magic. Well, I can still do some spells, but only simple, harmless ones. For Waltz to get his magic back, he needs to find Tinkerbell, which is the key to Neverland. We need to unlock his shadow. But all this time, you've never found Tinkerbell or Neverland? I've looked everywhere I can think of. I'm sure she cast a spell on it to make it more difficult to locate. Even in the palace? Delora snorts and I suddenly feel embarrassed. Oh, of course not. Why would Waltz look in the palace first? I mean, especially considering Hilda is the queen and has numerous secret chambers for things she wants to keep hidden. Looking through the entirety of the palace for a small box might be difficult. Neverland is a box that was left to me by my parents. It's made of gold with carvings that resemble a pair of wings. What? Waltz jumps at my sudden reaction. Princess? That box. That box! I had forgotten about it, but I can vaguely remember an old box in my room that matches that description. Mother left me a trinket box and a key that matches that description. She told me never to touch the box or to let anyone see it. I've had it for years. All this time, Tinkerbell and Neverland were with you? I never knew what was inside. I was too afraid to disobey Mother's orders. The thought of her giving you that box never even crossed my mind, but now, thinking back on it, makes sense. This is exactly where I was, so that I don't have to go through this again. We're saving. Alright, now on to things I don't know. I want to ask him what he means, but we are running out of time. I will have to ask him about it at a later time. I can get Neverland and Tinkerbell to you. I can return your magic. With Waltz back to his true form, we may have a fighting chance at this. So what do we do first? We? There is no we in this, Lucette. Only us. But I just said I could help. It is too dangerous, Princess. But I am the only one who knows where to find the box. Then you will tell us where it is and we'll retrieve it. It's as simple as that. I scowl at her with my arms crossed. I refuse to stay here and be useless while everyone else puts themselves at risk saving Angiel. Angiel is this way because I brought back Mother. I must take responsibility. And I will not let anyone else die at Mother's hands. Lucette. Mother is less likely to harm me. I have a better chance of getting Neverland and Tinkerbell without causing a disturbance. How can you say that after what's already happened? You're not safe either, Lucette. Uh-oh. No sooner has she said the words that a terrible blast echoes through the margin. Oh, hi. I cough as smoke envelops the tavern. A silhouette emerges in front of us, and I feel my blood turn cold when I realize who it is. Return of the Goth boyfriend! Varg! Just when I thought I was safe, Varg reappears. Every time I think I'm free of you, you just reel me back! And I'm not even talking about Lucette. I'm talking about just, like, destroys half the buildings. Oops. Ugh. I always forget how powerful this thing can get. Where previously there had been a wall made of stone, sturdy and strong, there is now a sizable hole. When I attempted this video last time, I had mentioned that I wondered if Parfait and or Delora had put some sort of a shield around the medical clinic that Jurian was taken to, especially since that's where the royal family is and everything, or if maybe there was like an underground bunker of some sort, or if they were relying on the citizens not saying anything, considering that they're the royalty that they want back on the seat. In Jurian, they all like and respect. The Marchen is supposed to be the safest place that they could possibly be. So I had actually been wondering, okay, why are they at the medical clinic and why were they allowed to go if the Marchen is the safest place? But this just proves the Marchen isn't safe at all either. Hannes. Remnants of brick and stone collapse inward in the aftermath. The dust rises to settle around Varg's feet where he stands casually twirling his cane. Hope I'm not disturbing anything, but all the doors were locked. Karma. Karma? Delora and I turned to glance at the wall behind us where Waltz is looking. Karma is standing there injured. Oh! His forehead is a large gash and one of his arms is limp and useless. He still manages to tightly grip the hilt of a sword with his other hand. Where did Karma come from? Oh no! I would have appreciated you destroying this property when you knocked on a tavern door. And I would have appreciated if you'd gotten out of my way when I asked politely so I wouldn't have had to resort to explosions. Seems both of us are disappointed. Varg, I swear to all things good, do not kill Karma, or Waltz, or anyone right there. I will never forgive you. What do you want, Varg? Don't we all already know the answer to that question? Come on. Varg turns to look at me expectantly. I thought the stolen goods would be brought here. What did you just call me? Karma lets out a harsh laugh. Has no one told you that women do not like being imprisoned against their will? Has no one told you people that it's not good to steal? I am not an item to be stolen or imprisoned. I ball my hands into fists. I cannot let Varg hurt anyone here. I have no idea if this will work, but if Fritz is truly fighting, then he must be able to hear my voice. Fritz? Varg growls, his eyes bright and angry as he glares at me. You need to give up on him, Princess. Never. Fritz, I know you're still there. No matter what you say, nothing will change. Fritz is gone. Adiuva. He won't... Varg chokes on his words and doubles over. You are being very annoying. Did it work? Out of the corner of my eye, I notice Karma preparing to attack while Varg is momentarily weakened. But something does not feel right. Karma, stop! What? Get the princess away from here. What's happening? That voice. Fritz! Despite the fact that it is Varg standing before me, it is most certainly Fritz looking at me through those eyes. Please, I don't know how long I can hold him here. You all need to get out of here while you still can. You need to get the princess safe. You need to keep the princess safe. Keep her away from the palace. Waltz, get her out of here now. No! I dodge Waltz's reaching hands as I attempt to run towards Fritz. Keep her safe, please. Now! No, don't hurt him! Karma rushes forward, his sword raised just as Waltz grabs my hand and pulls me out of the way. No! Time slows as I watch Varg slowly come back to coherence. His lips curl into a snarl as he begins to bring his cane down to the floor. Delora throws her hand out, the collected light racing toward Varg. Varg stumbles back, his cane never hitting the floor. Varg growls as he stares up at Delora. Witches are so inconvenient. Unfortunately, Delora is not the only inconvenience in this room. Varg raises his cane to block Karma's next swing. Waltz grips my hand and tugs. We have to go, Princess. I glance back at Karma and Delora. There must be something I can do. Okay, real quick. Okay, so follow Waltz or help them. Personally, I think the safest option, because she's just going to be a freaking obstacle, she's going to want to help them, but we've learned from other routes and this one so far, helping people doesn't work out for you, honey. I mean, you know what I mean, like in situations where her helping out is just going to cause her to become more of a nuisance than a help, it doesn't work out for her to help. It really, really doesn't. So I hope that this is the right one. We're going to follow Waltz first, but I can barely protect myself. Perhaps it would just get in their way. I do not resist as Waltz pulls me out of the margin. Looking for the crystal, I don't see it. Even as we set foot outside of the margin, I turn back. I cannot just leave them there. This is wrong. I can't just leave Delora and Karma there, not when I could do something. I dig my heels into the ground, bringing Waltz to an abrupt stop. We have to go back. Princess, we can't. Karma's hurt. We just need to get Varg's cane, then we can stop him. We can't put you in harm's way again. You need to get away from here. I rip my hand away from his grasp as I reach out to the marching door. I can distract Varg and create an opening. No, I will distract Varg. Waltz does not give me any chance to protest as he throws open the marching door. But we have to do this quick. Aren't you supposed to be kind of like our Hail Mary in the final battle, Waltz? Should you be the one to distract? I mean, not so fast. Over here, you dog. The force sends me down to the ground, and the smoke in the air has me gasping for air. What just happened? Karma is once more collapsed on the floor. I see Waltz struggling toward him, toward the debris from the blast. Flora has dropped to one knee. Her face is pale and blood trickles from the side of her mouth. Okay, I'm going to save right here just in case, but I am going to go back and choose the other one, because I do now think I was supposed to help. So let's try helping. My eyes drift towards Varg's cane. That cane is the source of his magic. If I can get it away from him, then Delora and Karma will stand a chance. With renewed determination, I run toward Varg. Princess! I barrel past Karma and hit Varg square in the gut with my shoulder, forcing him backwards into the ground. You just body slammed him! I manage to twist the cane away from him and clutch it as Varg rises and begins to advance toward me. No time for games. Give it back. No. You really are nothing without your cane, aren't you? For a moment there is only silence as Varg freezes. I cannot read the expression on his face. What is he thinking? Varg breaks the silence when he bursts out laughing. It is a sound that heralds certain chaos. What'd I friggin' say? Chaos, gremlin. The cane is not my only weapon. I watch as Varg slips a dagger out from his sleeve. And what are you going to do with that little thing? Poke me? Who said anything about you? What? Okay, I'm leaning towards this being the correct one now that we have like this weird CG. But I don't know. With a smirk, Varg brings the dagger to his neck. The dagger is more than enough to do some damage to the princess's favorite knight. No! Now that is definitely cheating. This is ridiculous. You share a body, you'll end up hurting yourself as well. Varg shrugs, and I cannot tell if he really is concerned or pretending to be. I'll do whatever it takes. Varg smiles at me. In this light, his teeth appear to be gleaming and sharp like he has fangs. Now give me back my cane and do precisely as I tell you, or the boy dies. I stand still. I cannot look away from Varg's gaze, which is bright with triumph. If Fritz dies, you die as well. Are you not afraid of death? I was never really alive to begin with. I'm just a bit of Fritz's mind given independence. This body isn't mine, so I can destroy it and not feel a thing. It will be Fritz that suffers. Princess, don't listen to him. You know it's a trap. He's got them crazy eyes. I know Waltz is telling the truth. I can see it in the look on Varg's face. I grip the cane tighter to me. Varg is lying to me. He will definitely suffer, but he is also serious about hurting Fritz. Yep, there we go. And I cannot let that happen. Now do as you're told, little princess. Don't be stupid, Lucette. You'll leave everyone here alone. Varg nods, amusement flickering in his eyes. As my princess commands. Princess, don't. Somebody snatch the cane from her, please. I am so sorry. But just as I start to move toward Varg, a bright light shines out from behind me. The shield of light pushes forward and past me, shoving Varg back and out through the hole he'd made in the wall. I turn, barely able to believe what I see. Parfait! I've come to be useful! She comes to stand in front of me. Listen closely, we don't have much time. Parfait's eyes flicker to Varg, who is shifting ever so slightly in the rubble. Even I can tell that he's only temporarily out of commission. Tomorrow night, meet us at the palace gates. Bring Neverland and Tinkerbell with you. But you... Do you understand? I falter as I imagine what Parfait could possibly be planning, but I have no time, and I can read nothing in her gaze. There is nothing else for me to do but nod in understanding. Yes, I understand. Parfait smiles at me as she caresses my cheek with a gentle hand. I have faith in you, princess. We all do. You'll be fine. Parfait. Parfait grabs me by the shoulders and forcibly pushes me toward Varg. He catches me, his hands firmly gripping my shoulders as I am careened into him. Keep her safe, Fritz. Varg flinches. He is inhaling and getting ready to speak when the air around us suddenly thins and we are swallowed by light. When I am able to breathe again, I open my eyes and see that I am back at the palace. Did Parfait transport us? I become aware that Varg still has his hands on my shoulders and I wrench free from his grip. Strange that your friends would actually send you back here with me. Seems like they need you to retrieve something from the palace. Stop being so sharp! Varg reaches out and snatches his cane from my hands. I'm not letting you leave the palace again, princess. The palace is eerily silent. The palace is eerily silent. It is as if none of the chaos that had just transpired ever happened, like it was all a dream. I ignore Varg and walk back through the gates as I suffocate the seething turmoil inside of me. Just try and stop me. I slam my bedroom door behind me and lock it. It's only been a few hours since I was here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and save right here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am Bacon, and this so far has been Cinderella Phenomenon Fritz's Route. If you like the video, feel free to like the video. If you like me, feel free to share, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!